What's going to happen is they're going to do a scene for you, but they have to use as many obscure phrases and euphemisms as they can. You'll see what happens. The scene is 3 supermarket employees on the night shift. It's also a good game to play at your work.
Hey, how you doing, Brad?
Pretty good. I'd like you to help me wax these bananas, if you know what I mean.
I know what you mean. I've been busy squeezing the melons, if you know what I mean.
That'll freeze your grapes, if you know what I'm talking about.
I gotta peel a cucumber, if you catch my drift.
Not really.
Sorry I'm late. I was marking a few items down, if you know what I mean.
Oh.
Stocking the shelves, if you know what I mean.
That's gross. Product, if you know what I mean.
I noticed you've been dating the new checkout girl. Changing her cash receipts, if you know what I mean.
Well, I've been looking for a bargain, if you know what I mean.
But I hear you've been coming up a little short, if you know what I mean.
Well, I got one wheel that seems to want to go different than the others, if you know what I mean. I guess you don't know what I mean.
So soon you'll be walking down aisle 6, if you know what I mean.
I heard there was a spill in aisle 4, if you know what I mean.
That'll be messy, Mr. Mop-It-All, if you know what I'm talking about.
Let's just say he's in 12 items or less, if you know what I mean.
You're using the express lane, if you know what I mean.
Yeah, I know what you mean.
Colin and Brad are 2 guys who work in an office. Ryan is their colleague who comes in to join them. You work in an office.
I was just at the Xerox machine. I'd like you to look at my enlargements, if you know what I mean.
Well, once I'm finished with my floppy, if you know what I mean.
I heard you were having a problem with your hard drive, if you know what I mean.
Yeah.
Sorry I'm late. I was drilling some Marines, if you know what I mean.
I saw your report. It came up a little short, if you know what I'm talking about.
Well, I'm having a little problem with my RAM, if you get my drift.
Everyone's been laughing at your briefs, if you know what I mean.
No, I don't know what you mean.
Well, I have to go sharpen my pencil, if you know what I mean.
I gotta go think outside the box, if you know what I mean.
I'm gonna go, see if I can go, jam myself into my cubicle, if you know what I mean. No.
Well, I was gonna run something up the flagpole, see if anyone grabbed it, if you know what I mean.
I have to move out soon. Will you help me with my enormous credenza, if you know what I mean?
I'll help you fluff your Garfield, if you know what you mean.
Well, I'm going to go to the bathroom.
I'm gonna go sleep with the boss, if you know what I mean.
Scene is 3 soldiers in a barracks. 3 soldiers in the barracks.
Sorry I'm late. I had to drop an otter, if you know what I mean.
Yeah. I was just cleaning out my foxhole myself, if you know what I mean.
I was emptying out the barrel of my gun, if you know what I mean.
So I hear there's a big mission.
Yeah, we gotta go over the top, if you know what I mean.
We're going to be in close quarters, if you know what I mean.
I'm really gonna be racking up the dry cleaning bills, if you know what I mean.
You guys want to go undercover, if you know what I mean?
I'll, have a happy AWOL experience, if you know what I mean.
How much ammo do you have, if you know what I mean?
Enough to shoot off my bayonet, if you know what I mean.
My bayonet's longer, if you know what I mean.
I'm just looking for a few good men, if you know what I mean.
I do more before 6 o'clock than most men do all day, if you know what I mean.
I'm an army of one, if you know what I mean.
When I was in the Navy, I was surrounded by seamen, if you know what I mean.
3 car mechanics at a service station. So take it away.
So, I hear you have a new girlfriend.
Oh, she's built like an F-24, if you know what I mean.
Her chassis has no rivets, huh?
She goes 0 to 60 in 2 seconds, if you know what I mean.
That'll make your airbag inflate.
Sorry I'm late. I was lubing up the axle, if you know what I mean.
So, I heard the chassis on your lift is looking pretty slim.
I wouldn't put her on the rack, if you know what I mean.
Hey, you guys, can I talk to you about something serious? I blew a tire, if you know what I mean.
Wow, that's going to set back your odometer.
Yeah, and I'm down a quart, if you know what I mean.
Well, you gotta check your dipstick a little more often, if you know what I mean.
That's an estimate you don't want to make over the phone, if you know what I mean.
Hey, I've been up on the rack. You don't need to tell me.
Well, all you need is a little jump start, if you know what I mean.
Well, I don't like to have someone handle my spark plugs, if you know what I mean.
Then you need a distributor, if you know what I'm talking about.
Yeah, once in a while, you just gotta pull the hood release, if you know what I mean.
I don't
School. Back to school time. And now go ahead and speak in euphemisms, and Ryan will join you later.
I've got to go get some more loose leaf paper, if you know what I mean.
I do. I'm going to get ready to clap my brushes. Clap my brushes.
By the way,
If you know what I mean.
I saw your 3-hole punch. Very impressive, if you know what I mean.
Thank you. What are you going to be taking this year?
Algebra. You get what I'm saying.
Hey, sorry I'm late. I had to let the kids out for recess, if you know what I mean.
Well, your term's almost up, if you know what I mean.
No, I don't know what you mean.
Do you?
No, really.
Yeah.
I hear there's going to be a big dance before the school even starts. That way I can go. I'm going to get a grainy picture of the Loch Ness Monster, if you know what I mean.
Yeah, I'm gonna go down to the... think I might go down later to the cafeteria and stuff the old butterball, if you know what I mean.
Plop, plop, fizz, fizz.
That'll make the Jell-O wiggle. Oh!
Someone likes to put holidays on the asparagus a little too much, don't
What?
Hey, why are you getting your nose hairs in a burning trajectory over Moscow?
I know what you mean.
you? Hey, yeah, there's no reason to choke the nun, if you know what I mean.
Hey, let's not make a Fox special. If you know what I mean.
Brad and Colin are regulars at a local diner. Ryan enters as their favorite waitress. Okay, take it away.
Can't wait till our waitress gets here. I'd like to see her flapjacks, if you know what I mean.
I'm hoping for today's special, if you know what I mean.
I just want to watch her put cream in my coffee, if you know what I'm talking about.
Sorry I'm late. I was busy with some pigs in a blanket, if you know what I mean.
I'll have a double order of sausage, if you know what I'm talking about.
Oh, would you like that easy over, if you know what I mean?
Well done, if you know what I mean.
I'd like a foot long, if you know what I mean.
I had one earlier, if you know what I mean.
Can I top that off, if you know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's decaf. I know you don't want to be up all night, if you know what I mean.
I'd like her to scramble my eggs, if you know what I'm talking about.
Ooh. If you know what I mean.
I gave you both separate checks, if you know what I mean.
So are you in the back making bacon, if you know what I mean?
Oh, I've been overcharged, if you know what I mean.
I can leave you. I'd be happy to leave you a very big tip, if you know what I mean.
Would you like to take a look at my tips, if you know what I mean?
Sure.
I'll give an extra 20%, if you know what I mean.
Would you like a couple more buns, if you know what I mean?
Are they buttered, if you know what I mean?
They're hot and cross, if you know what I mean.
I like mine with icing.
The scene is 3 track and field athletes talk in the locker room after a big meet, and the game is called If You Know What It Means. Take it away.
Woo. So, Ralph, did you see that female pole vaulter? I'd like to pass her the baton, if you know what I mean.
I was too busy waxing my javelin, if you know what I mean.
I'm just glad I got time to air out my shot puts, if you know what I mean.
I got a score of 8 from the Russian judge, if you know what I mean. Woo, woo. So, I saw you were not quite running in your lane today, if you know what I mean.
Well, I like to hop, skip, and jump occasionally, if you know what I mean.
Hey.
I know what you mean.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I didn't want to say it.
Yeah.
I don't want to have to do any moves on your pommel horse, if you know what I'm saying.
Hey, come on, come on. Don't make me chalk my hands, if you know what I mean.
I know what you both mean, but I'd like to tumble on somebody's mat, if you know what I'm saying.
I'll give that a 9, if you know what I mean.
I've got a 9, if you know what I mean.
I've been having trouble. I've been disqualified for an early start, if you know what I mean.
Well, why don't you just clean and jerk, if you know what I mean? Well, why don't you just clean and jerk, if you know what I mean?
Why don't you just clean and jerk, if you know what I mean?
Nothing better than a 200-pound, if you know what I mean. 200-pound, if you know what I mean.
That's never gonna make it to air, if you know what I mean.
So, you guys have organized an auto race, and you're cleaning up after it. And their conversation is going to be full of their own euphemisms. And you'll see what I mean while you watch, if you know what I mean.
Well, that was quite a race, huh?
Oh,
There were a lot of beautiful girls. I saw that one talking to you. She was really trying to paint the Eiffel Tower, if you know what I mean.
that's right. I was almost buffing the boulder.
I know what you mean. She had quite a set of produce shelves, if you know what I mean.
Hold the bananas. I think you see where I'm going.
I got you.
Sorry I'm late. I was choking the nun, if you know what I mean.
I know what you mean. Speaking of which, you were quite a hit with the ladies at the race today.
Well, I buttered some lobster, if you know what I mean.
You were the veritable kingpin of the monkey farm.
Well, I don't want to brag, but I know how to pass a stone, if you know what I mean.
Yes, I do.
Knit 1, pearl 2.
Touche. Say, I don't want to brag, but while you guys were out flirting, I managed to scrape up some paint chips of my own with the dustbuster.
Somebody had a layover in Winnipeg, if you know what I mean.
Gilligan making a coconut house.
You can say that again, Mr. Howell.
I'm tired of sweeping.
The scene is your hotel employees working the night shift. Take it away.
I've got to take some bananas up to room 405, if you know what I mean.
I was up there yesterday. I had to go down to the 4th floor, if you know what I mean.
You don't want to go to room 69, if you know what I'm talking about.
I have handled enough baggage today, if you know what I mean.
You're no dumbwaiter, if you know what I mean.
You're one with no reservations, if you know what I mean. No, you don't. What's wrong? You look like you're expecting a vacancy, if you know what I mean.
Well, it's just I plan on...
Looks like your elevator's not going up, if you know what I mean.
Well, I'm short on towels and ashtrays, if you know what I mean.
Well, he can help you service that, if you know what I mean.
Well, I'm going to give you the big turn down, if you know what I mean.
It's time to change the sheets, if you know what I mean.
Don't let me be the one to put the mint on your pillow, if you know what I'm talking about. No.
Well, I think it's time for you to gather some ice in your bucket, if you know what I mean.
You've stolen enough towels, if you know what I mean.
Oh, really? Well, see if I do not disturb you, if you know what I mean.
Ding, 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 if you know what I mean.
I'm holding out for a bigger tip, if you know what I mean.
The scene is Colin and Brad are two bakers finishing the night shift at a bakery when Ryan comes in to open up.
My dough's starting to rise, if you know what I mean. You look like you want me to help butter your muffins, if you know what I mean.
I'm going to squeeze some icing, if you know what I mean.
Don't squeeze it too hard, if you know what I mean. That's not very much icing.
I was slapping around a couple hot cross buns, if you know what I mean.
You look like you've got one in the oven, if you know what I mean.
I like to knead the dough, if you know what I mean.
Look what I can do with the donuts.
By the way, let me say, I was staring at your buns and they look warm and fresh, if you know what I mean.
I have no trouble with my yeast, if you know what I mean.
Looks like you've been freshly sugared, if you know what I mean.
I heard that recently your souffle started to droop.
Well, my souffle has fallen, if you know what I mean.
I've never had that problem, if you know what I mean.
Perhaps you need chunkier raisins, if you know what I mean.
Well, maybe you better turn up the fire in the oven, if you know what I mean.
Maybe you'd like to lick the spoon, if you know what I mean.
Did you take a drink during that?
Just what does chunkier raisins mean?
If you don't know what I mean.
That's an old Canadian saying.
Yeah.
Along with the showing of the donuts.
That's my favorite.
That's my favorite part. Hey. I've said that before. Look what I can do with the donut. You know what I mean?
You've got Krispy Kreme, if you know what I mean.
Yeah, that's right. Always better when they're warm, if you know what I'm saying.